This is the Transformers Generations Titans Return Deluxe Class Autobot Topspin with Freeze Out. Titan Master is Headmaster, Titan Master is Freeze Out. And here is the packaging. Figure is part of the fourth wave of these Titans Return Deluxe Class figures for Transformers Generations. Here is the collector card. Closer than that. Bio. Freeze Out. Okay, that there. This one right there. And he comes with standard instructions that, yeah, much clearer than some of the other instructions. Now, if you're wondering why he looks so retro or so stocky and beefy, this figure has so much 80s in it. I mean, 1980s definitely about this figure. And Topspin once, I think, first appeared as a toy as a jump starter. I don't have it now. I used to have it when I was a kid. He looked like something like this, but he had very thick legs, and he had this thing, the nose cones, like two up like that, and then he would, the way you transformed him, you would flip up his legs, and then these nose cones would be here, like underneath his hips. It would flip like that, and then you would roll him, and then at a certain point, the wheel would click on a switch. That would, once you cock it, once you clip this back there, it would hit the switch, and there would be springs on his hips, and then once it hit the switch, the wheels hit that switch, it would unlock the feet, and the feet would like shoot out like that, and then pop the figure up. Hence the name Jumpstarters. His partner was Twin Twist. It was just a repaint, and it was pretty cool at the time, but I didn't really like that toy because I couldn't do much with the robot mode. There was no articulation whatsoever. It was just a gimmick Transformers that just rolled and flipped, and you know, it was fun back in the day, but not really interesting. And I think I sold it, or mom gave it away or something like that. I don't know. But the only other Twin Twist Topspin figure I have is obviously a Wrecker in Dark of the Moon, and from the Fall of Cybertron series of figures from the Bruticus repaint Ruination. The other Topspin figure I have is this one, Deluxe Class Topspin from FOC, which is much smaller than this. He's just so beefy. Okay, I don't think he appeared in the cartoons, but in the comic books, he was one of the Wreckers. He worked with the Wreckers, and so I guess he's one of the Wreckers. So, and they've been using him as part of the Wrecker team in FOC Ruination, part of the Wrecker team in Dark of the Moon. So, yeah, okay, in the comic books. The figure, to me, as a display piece, as just like in robot mode, it looks cool because I grew up in the 80s. But for those of you who are not familiar with the figure, you might think the figure is just blah, meh, whatever. Even in alt mode, the alt mode is like in this weird spaceship, which is just so 80s, like Buck Rogers, you know, type of alien spaceship, starship, whatever type of thing. That's like the X-Wing fighters, you know what I'm saying. And yeah, you probably will think, what is this figure? I'm not gonna buy it. But if you grew up in the US, if you grew up in the 80s and you had the toy, there's a lot of nostalgia. No gimmick whatsoever, but I'm actually quite glad Hasbro made an updated version of him, so you can put him in your Wrecker shelf. And really in generation style, articulation and transformation, I think this is a welcome addition. Okay, so his gun, two silver painted guns, which is very cool. As you can see, there's like half of a handle on each side, and you can combine. I don't think the instructions mention this. I don't think they do. That forms a seat, like a gun seat, or you can hold like a 4-barreled gun. And then he can have Freeze Out sit there. Speaking of Freeze Out, here is the not too fond of the head sculpt. Or the head sculpt's okay. It is Twin Twist. Topspin. But the colors they used, it's kind of weirding me out. I'm surprised they used yellow instead of orange. I think they're trying to. I think this is more of an homage to the G1 toy. That's why it's colored like this. So it's fine. There he is. And pretty sure you can have him seated here, like that. Okay, rid of that, rid of this, split this up. Okay, articulation, standard Headmaster or Titan Master articulation. He's got there's a hinge right here because of transformation. And then there's a ball joint for the shoulder, swivel bicep, double jointed elbows because of transformation, no wrist swivel, waist articulation, there's waist swivel, ball jointed hips, thigh swivel, hinge knees that are kind of loose because of transformation, but this is as far as they go. Even if you try and open up that back part, because it's still gonna bump that rear thigh, so not much you can do with the feet. And a little bit of a toe articulation because of transformation. Okay, colors, yeah, it's drab. It's actually a much lighter blue. It's more bordering on teal than on the camera. The camera's showing it to be a nice navy blue, cobalt blue, but it's really more of a teal blue in actual. I don't know how to show it to you guys because the camera is not picking it up, but it looks okay. There's some white paint apps here and there, but hardly any issues on the figure. And it feels heavy, although the blue plastic kind of seems cheap, like a knockoff, but it does feel heavy. That's that. Transform him is kind of tricky. That's why I said it's a nice robot piece, it's a nice vehicle piece, but transformation can be a little tricky and sometimes unenjoyable if you're just, if you don't get it right the first time. Okay, so let's do the legs first, or why don't we do the arms first, because it's the easier part. So open up this back part. I love this. I actually love this compression of the forearms. It borders on the Combiner Wars engineering. Open that up, fold in the fist, and then fold in the elbow, and there you have it. That's the side, which are all gonna fall here. Okay, this is the top part of the jet, so let's do that. Rotate the waist, open it up, and you're supposed to collapse it, but wait, fold this up first. But the clearance isn't as great as I want it to be. There's a little of parts hitting each other there, so it's kind of annoying, but yeah, and we'll fix it later, but that's how it is. Okay, open this up, fold the feet up, and then just collapse that whole knee assembly. It'll make sense later once we do it. And then here's another thing I'm a little bit peeved about. It's a flared up peg hole. It's not like your standard rectangular smooth peg hole. It's flared up here, which is okay because if it were on its own, it's easy to slide it in and out. But the other one right here is also a flared peg hole, which you have to slide also for an easy fit. So instructions tell you to just snap it in, and I'm not comfortable with that because over time I know it's gonna be soft and you're gonna have some scratching. Friction is gonna break off that flared piece, so it's kind of, you'll have to force. There's no way to do it one at a time. I tried doing it. It's not. You'll have to do it this way. You slide one in, and the other one you just have to press in, or yeah, slide this one in and then press the other one in, and that's the only way I know how to easily do it. Otherwise you'll feel like you're gonna break the damn thing. So just collapse the legs all the way in right there and flush. Okay, lift up the canopy, open the waist piece right there, rotate this is a nice transformation, by the way. That particular piece reminds me of Trigger Happy's transformation, but cumbersome legs, and yeah, kind of ruins that whole transformation. Okay, what am I doing? Sorry. Fold this one out so it's easier. There's the landing gear. You can fold up the landing gear, fold it down, and then this one we'll just tab in here, right there. The arms. Well, okay, let's close the arms for now, since we've got the cockpit open. Because once the arms are in, it's so damn difficult to get that cockpit open. I know there's a groove. You can see that groove right there, but it's so hard to put your fingernail in because it's so narrow. You'll need a tool to pry it open. That's one of the other peeves I have about this alt mode. So the legs and then the cockpit. So we'll take advantage of the cockpit being open and put in freeze out. There's a way you can peg him in. Yep, but he stays in place. Okay, and then there are rectangular peg holes here. Make sure you peg them right this way. The handles on the outside for obvious reasons. And there you go. Okay, they don't tab in anywhere, or it's a shame. It would have been more solid. And you close this. And there you go. There is Topspin. Titan to turn Topspin in his nostalgic 80s, 1980s type of alt mode spaceship. It's actually pretty cool. You know, when I was a kid, these were the kinds of spaceship toys I had. And they were like pretty cool. And now to get, like I said, to get that cockpit door open, it's either you get a tool to pry it open or get one of your fingernails in, which is a little bit painful. I do it here on the side. Instead of there, I do it here so you can get it open. Or I try doing it here if your hands are a little bit, you know, not freshly washed, or you didn't wash your hands, because if you wash your hands with soap, it's going to be very slippery. It's going to be difficult to do that. So if you let your hands dry a bit, then you can get a grip and grab hold of that cockpit. But it's annoying. It's actually annoying. First time around I had it, I could not open it. Even now I'm still having a hard time doing it. You'll have to somehow get to do that, or just grab that top part right there and open it. Anyway, belaboring the point, I know. So if you have no idea what this character is, you probably easily give it a 7 out of 10, maybe an 8 highest. I think it's so much nostalgia. I think they did a good job with the figure. I love the engineering of the transformation, although they could have done it in a more subtle, a more smoother way. But as it is, it's pretty okay. Just to be fair to the figure, it's great. The nostalgia is there, so I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. Not too particular about the character, but it is a wrecker. I do like the wreckers, so I think he deserves a 9 out of 10. There you go, folks. Hope you've enjoyed this little video review. This has been the Transformers Generations Titans Return Deluxe Class Autobot Spin with Freeze Out. Thanks for watching.